Hello, I'm Kathlene Jones, speaking to you today about my lived experience in medical research as both a parent and founder of the Prader-Willi Research Foundation Australia. My daughter Chloe was born in December 2013 and at 19 days old was diagnosed with Prader-Willi syndrome. We Googled PWS and discovered an unimaginable condition, tormenting starvation, food seeking, mental illness, and violent behaviours. This was a future mapped out for our beautiful baby girl. And with that diagnosis, I evolved from being a mother to also being a student of nursing, medicine, and paediatric development, ultimately becoming an advocate for medical research. Professionally, I had been a McKinsey consultant and a corporate strategy general manager. Once I understood how to keep Chloe alive and on an upward development trajectory, my problem-solving brain kicked in. I asked, what treatments are in development? What is possible for my child? Then how might medical research help? I came to realize the power of my professional skill set and a responsibility to use it. Because of medical research, there is so much hope and possibility for a better future. When Chloe was born, there was no hope of a treatment for hyperphagia, the daily tormenting hunger that defines Prader-Willi syndrome. The outlook was grim. Today, the first FDA-approved drug exists. Clinical trials for hyperphagia are now recruiting in Australia, and we're only the second country in the world with access to this particular trial. That's what research does. It transforms hopelessness into possibility. Research means empowering families and enabling us to change our own children's futures. It's about refusing to accept, without action, the stark future that our children were given. In establishing PWRFA, we built an innovation accelerator from day one, mindful of the low incidence rate of Prader-Willi syndrome. We started with immense credibility. Professor Bob Williamson, leading our Scientific Advisory Council and founding board member, Professor Ian Cook and Dr. Ian Watt, former Secretary of Prime Minister and Cabinet, as our inaugural chair. We invested in strong governance because we knew we must establish trust from the start, trust beyond reproach. We then employed a dedicated research director to identify and connect the most talented scientists. This was critical. We built a national research roadmap connecting unmet community needs with the world-class strengths of Australian scientists. Our strategy: seed fund promising early-stage projects to generate pilot data that attracts larger grant and venture funding. We de-risk projects, making them investable for others. By example, in 2016, Professor Marnie Blewett received $15,000 from us to develop pilot data on a mechanism to activate silent genes in Prader-Willi syndrome. She is now a keynote speaker at international conferences with a potentially world-leading candidate for disease-modifying treatment. She's attracted significant funding, and we've partnered to support her and to further mobilise families. This is the power of collaboration. We see our families and medical researchers having a symbiotic relationship. When families see scientists addressing their specific challenges, you see unprecedented engagement. The families become your research partners. Our scientists' eyes light up with passion when they meet our children and understand the real-world impact of their work. For lab research, we urge you to work with us to understand the unmet need of our community. For translational research, we connect researchers directly with the population experiencing the issue. But we face real challenges. We need to entice Australia's most gifted scientists to take a career risk on PWS, a rare condition. We need to help families understand the research journey and why we invest in projects that may not deliver immediate treatments. And here's the truth. Even with a science undergrad and genetics training, I struggle with the technical language. Families struggle more. My advice: simplify into familiar concepts and analogies. Test your language with us. We also face sustainability challenges. Organisations like ours operate in a funding gap, and yet we create public good through de-risking research that government wouldn't otherwise invest in. We need institutional investors who recognise that rare disease platforms create innovation that scales. To researchers and institutional leaders, partner with us. Treat lived experience organisations as strategic de-risking partners. The more you integrate community insight into your strategy, the better your science becomes and the more funding we can attract together. For others wanting to become involved in medical research, absolutely do it. Be very focused on the outcome you're seeking, and running a research organisation requires a community working together: researchers, clinicians, families, and funders. I love this work because when heads and hearts come together, hope becomes possibility and possibility becomes reality. Thank you.